Good evening from Loxley String Studios. Just a quick one right now to talk about string level on the A, D, G, and C strings and how that relates to keeping a straight bow axis up and down this way. It's very easy to have a good bow on the D string but get sideways, especially as you pull out in the bow either on the A string or on the C string to get a little bit angular this way. Okay? So we're going to talk a little bit about the wrist involvement, but also the shoulder involvement and the lower back involvement that it takes to get the right string level and to keep a straight bow in all cases. Okay? So, first things first. It has to do with what we call addressing the string. In other words, our shoulders have to be slightly pointed towards the A string, towards the D, G, and C accordingly. And it's not our shoulders moving that does this, it's our lower back pivoting, as I call it. Okay? So it's this motion right here that's going to actually move my shoulders back and forth. Okay? So that's the first thing. And we do an exercise that's called 4 points, where you pick points in the room, 4 points, one for each one of the strings. So I have my A string object, I have my D string object, a G string object, and then a C string object. And you notice that I'm pointing my shoulders towards each object as I look at it. Now that will inevitably mean that because I'm doing it with my shoulders and my head, not just my eyes and my neck, it's going to mean that I'm going to move this way towards the C string, G, D, and A. And what this does is it sets up my shoulders very well to not have to poke forward to get to an A string level, or to have this one not have to kind of come way over here to get to a C string level. Just kind of naturally we sway this way and that way. This is lower back pivoting. And what this does is it sets up our hand and our shoulder to be in a good position for an A string bow without jutting forward. If I stayed even like this, then I'd have to jut forward this shoulder to get to the right A string level, and that's going to get really painful really quickly. So instead, I keep I keep my shoulders flat, my chest and shoulders flat, in other words, broad here, and I turn with my back. Okay? Here's 4 points. 4 quarter notes each. A string, 2, 3, slight shift, D string, G string, C. Now I might slightly overdo it just to show you the motion. G, D, A string. Good. Now within that, you also have to be a little bit careful with your wrist. It is inevitable that at different points in the bow, okay, let me scoot over here a little bit. As I come from the frog, let me pull back my shirt here, slight bend you see right here. Just a slight bend because I'm in at the frog. This is on the D string level. Now as I come out, keeping my bow completely clean, completely straight. Now by the time I come out, I have a slight bend right in this part, okay? So what's happened is my bow hand has gone from here to here as I bow out on the D. And you'll see if I do a couple sort of fast big ones. Let me get on this side. Look a little different. On the C string, we tell students to point the tip outward, meaning that you're going to err on the side of pointing out towards you. Now what this does is it really just makes sure that you don't get sideways like this, because most students will get a little sideways this way, if anything. So this is straight, right? It looks straight to the camera. Well, to me, it looks like I'm pointing outwards slightly towards the camera, okay? Sort of an optical illusion. And likewise on the A string, we tell students, again, face the string. Your shoulder is going to be slightly forward only because this shoulder is back as you've lower back pivoted. And we tell students to make just a little bit of an X, just a slight X on the A string. The most important thing is to practice going back and forth and being clean, getting one string at a time. G string. Notice how this shoulder comes slightly forward. This one's now back. Just a little bit of lower back pivot, okay? This is how we get our shoulders in the right place. And notice how much our shoulders affect where in the bow we are and where on the string we are, okay? So, very important. That's just a quick little introduction to the string levels and what we're trying to do as far as our lower back pivot is concerned. Okay, thanks.